Wasn't that absolutely gorgeous? You're not as excited as I am over that long snap? You don't even know what a long snap is? Well, let me explain. On fourth down, when the punter gets the ball and he's going to punt the ball, or a kicker on fourth down if he's going for a field goal, PAT after a touchdown, they got to receive the ball from someone. That person is the long snapper, and that art of what they're doing is called the long snap or long snapping. My name is Chris Rubio. I'm the owner of Rubio Long Snapping and also host two shows on the NGBN.TV network. One is the Rubio Method and one is Decades, and they are both fantastic, and you should definitely check them out. All right, so what's with all the long snapping talk? Well, I'm gonna explain to you how long snapping and life are very, very similar. So right now you're probably thinking to yourself, what the hell is this guy talking about? I just saw a dude bend over, throw the ball backwards, upside down. And this guy is gonna tell me how that and life are similar? Yep, get ready, sit down, and let's focus up. Number one, in both life and long snapping, you need a good start. You need a good base. In long snapping, you have to walk up to the ball. You have to make sure your foot's here, and then make sure your balance is solid. You have to make sure that you are in the right spot, because if you are in the wrong spot, number one, you won't be able to hold the ball. And number two, it's going to impact the rest of the snapping motion, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Same thing with life. If you don't have a good start, a good base, it's going to be a lot harder for you in the long run. Like I always say, you are who you hang out with. Well, the first people you're going to hang out with is your family. And so hopefully they're providing a very, very strong base, a very strong start for you. Number two, your feet have to be going in the right direction. This is a little odd for long snappers because their right direction is actually going backwards. Okay, when you saw the ball, he gets down, he bends over and snaps it basically out from under his butt going that way. With long snapping, you have to get your feet set like we talked about, and you have to make sure that you're going in the right direction, which is forward, but also backwards. And that's kind of a weird thing, but it works out in the end because that's the direction that a long snapper needs to head. In life, you need to make sure your feet are going in the right direction with the help of your family and friends like we talked about, but also that they're going in the right direction and on the right path. If you veer off, you can come back, but it's gonna be a lot harder. So you wanna make sure you're pointed in the right direction, you have a good base, pointed in the right direction, and headed the right way. Number three, you need outstanding balance in both. With long snapper, you want the weight, the middle to the back of your foot, so you're not falling too far forward and you're not falling too far back. Everything's got to be perfectly balanced, so if they take away the ball, you can still just be sitting there if you want to. It's not a very comfortable position, but you could do it. Same thing with life, man. If you're leaning too much to drinking or drugs or movies or TV shows or doing whatever, sports, if you're overly involved in any one thing and you don't have a lot of balance with the good and the bad, or the medium and the bad, or the medium and the good, you're gonna tip over, and you do not want that. So balance is very, very key in life, obviously, and now you just learned in long snapping as well. Four, both are not easy, but you're able to practice them. With long snapping, obviously, a lot of it has to do with your form and the way your snapping motion moves back and forth, back and forth. It's got to be very smooth, and you can practice that over and over and over and over again. And in life, you don't come out of the gate at 18, 19, 20. You've got a lot of years of practice. And who says at 18 or 19 you have to be perfect with your practice? Keep practicing. Practice till you're 25. Practice till you're 30. Hey, I'm in my high 40s and I'm still practicing life because I haven't mastered it. And you know what? I don't think anyone ever really does, but you got to keep practicing the right way to aim for perfection. Number five, when you're going to do it with full power. If you go back and watch the video of someone long snapping, you'll see that it's a great amount of force. It's a pure explosion, and it's all going one direction. That's the exact same thing with life. You need to pick your direction that you're going to go, and then go full speed. Don't just jog. Don't dilly-dally. Don't just tiptoe. When you're going to go into the deep water, go to the deep water, man. Don't take the stairs into the pool. Dive in. Make sure it's, deep enough, obviously. But same thing with long snappers. One of the biggest mistakes they make is they get timid and they try to aim the ball. No aiming. You don't snap it to the punter. You snap it through the punter. In life, you don't just want to get to the finish line. You want to crush the finish line and just keep on going. And last but not least, number six, when you do your job perfectly, it might go unnoticed, and it usually does, but as long as you do and those that are close to you notice, that is what matters. With long snappers, you rarely ever know their name because they do their job perfectly, especially if they've gone through Rubio long snapping. But it's one of those things that if you know their name, they're doing it improperly. So you never want to know a long snapper's name, so they never really get noticed. Okay? With life, a lot of times you'll have these little hidden gems of positivity or greatness where you did something very, very solid. You earned this extra income, or you got a different job, but that's really gonna help you out. You made friends with someone, you helped someone out. And it's not always gonna be, hey, your front cover of the paper, yay, Rubio. It's not always gonna happen. And that's okay, because as long as you know, hey, I'm a stud. I did a great, great thing and it helps out others, or this is really gonna help out me, and those closest to you know it as well, that's all that really matters. So now you've learned how long snapping and life are the exact same. Well, in my eyes anyway. If you have any questions for me, you can always email Rubio@therubiomethod.com.